What's up, guys? Welcome back to Heavyweight Nation. Today we're going to be recapping Pan American Championships, which just ended. Team USA with a dominant showing, 9 out of 10 gold medals in the men's freestyle division, picking up most of the gold medals in the women's freestyle division also, and Greco having a pretty good performance. Uh, contrary to the usual, unfortunately, but great showing nonetheless. Joe Rao, Spencer Woods, Kamal Bay, and a couple others all winning gold, but let's run through one by one, see what happened in each of the weight classes. We'll start with the men's Greco-Roman because that's what they opened up with. 55 kilos, lowest weight class. Dalton Duffield already sitting in Final X. Only had 2 matches, 3 guys in his bracket, so he did secure gold kind of early. His first match was a fall, well up 4-0, and the second match was 9-0 tech. Dalton Roberts, another one of our guys who's been pretty dominant for a while. 3 techs, 9-0 in the quarterfinals, 8-0 in the semis, and another tech in the finals, 9-0. 63 wasn't contested at the Pan American Championships because of there not being enough entries, and a whole thing happened. But apparently, we do get the automatic qualification for the World Championships since we did register a guy, which is what really matters there, right? Robert Perez, the third. He was, I think, one of the 2 guys that didn't earn a medal in Greco-Roman. Lost 8-0 in his first match to Colombia to Julian Horta. 8-0, yep. Justice Scott just won the US Open as well. He 3 techs, decision victory, 9-1 round 1. Round 2, he got a bye. That does not make sense. Yeah, round 3, another tech, semifinals, another tech. He beat Moraes of Brazil, 6-2 in the finals. Kamal Bay looks to finally be back, is what I'll say, right? I think this is a guy a lot of people have been watching early on in his career, and after suspension, the hype kind of wore down. And at the US Open, quick, like 30-second tech in the finals reminded us who he was. Hopefully, he had a rough draw at the World Championships last year. Hopefully, this year will be when he finally gets himself on the podium. I know Greco's going through a lot of shit right now, right? Rulan's unsuccessful return. Maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't. Adam Kuhn's back in the sport, which I think is good to see for a lot of things. But after one guy medals for us since like 2018, Angelo Hancock, then he leaves to go to WWE. It kind of hurts it because there's no real funding in the sport, but
Right.
that's a whole argument for another day. Yeah, 82 kilos, Spencer Woods. I think he had a big win for himself at the US Open where he beat Ben Provisor, 2-time Olympian, who teched him actually pretty quickly at Final X last year. So
Yeah.
that's big. He was in another round robin, teched his 2 matches, got a fourth for the last one. He already secured gold. Alan Vera at 87, who I think he used to wrestle for Cuba. He's a little bit older, but he lost one of his matches in the semis to Cuba. I mean, Cuban Greco guys are elite, so but he won his bronze medal match over Brandao from Brazil. So I watched a lot of these matches. I'm not familiar with too many of these Greco guys, but he's a guy who I've been very impressed with since I want to say his show match with D'Angelo Hancock, even though that didn't go too well.
Yeah.
But he's tough. He pretty dominant in parterre, and I like watching that. We have the OG Joe Rao. He's back now. Wins gold at 97 kilos now, so he's up there. Uh, Not too dominant of matches, but he did have a tech in the semifinals over the Dominican Republic. 1-2-1 and 5-1 in the previous rounds. Finals gets an injury forfeit over Kevin Mayhew of Honduras. At 130, no Colton Schultz here. You have Donnie Longendijk, who's again a very talented Greco wrestler. I would say just doesn't look like he's ever probably going to make that breakthrough to the world team just because Adam Kuhn, Tanner Farmer ahead of him, and then Jacob Mitchell also. But that's where we'll keep it. Um, Honestly, this run was very impressive. It just kind of sucks who he ran into. Ran into Oscar Pino Hines of Cuba. Guy's been the backup to Mijan Lopez for I think over a decade at this point. Only lost 2-1 to 5-time world champ Risa Kalp. So put that there where you will. This is the point where I'd say just defect a different country, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. In this bronze medal match, he lost to Ismani Acosta, who's been a top five guy in the world for a while. A lot of people thought he should have been medalist at the Olympics, but obviously some calls don't go his way, and that is where that is. All right, women's freestyle. Sarah Hildebrand takes care of business. Three techs. I don't think there's ever really a question here with what
Nope.
she did. The first surprise does come at 53 kilos with Dom Parrish not medaling, right? She lost 8-6 in the quarters to Venezuela. She won her first rep charge match again. Got lucky you can get in a rep charge at that point, right?
Yep.
And then bronze medal match lost 4-2. And that begs to question a lot of things. Did she have a miracle run at the World Championships last year? Is she injured or what's going on, right? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, when you're riding high off the world championship and just having a lot of pressure on you, jumping back right into it. I mean, you know, it happens.
Yeah, I mean she's a dominant wrestler. I don't think she has any problem making this world team
No.
again. I forgot who she's wrestling. We'll leave it out there, but 55 kilos, Alicia Hauk. Uh yeah, she had a good showing at the US Open. Yeah, I mean she lost Argentina. No, she lost to Canada. She did beat Argentina.
Yep.
Canada has some good women's wrestlers they have in a while.
Hmm.
Not a bad showing. I don't think anything to be concerned about. 57, we'll come back to that at the end. 59, Xochimilco Pettis wins gold. Dominant performance at the US Open, I might say. Absolutely launched her there, but this is someone to look out for. I think
Yeah, I mean,
don't
she
know who
got.
she's facing at Final X, if anyone.
I mean, she's keeping it rolling after that. I mean, three, 2-10 wins. I mean, what else could you ask for? She's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla Miracle takes care of business. She's been a staple on this team for a while. Again, nothing to really look at too much as the field isn't really crazy. I think again for the men's field we have it kind of easy because the main competition's in the Euros, and then for the women's field we have it kind of easy again because the main competition's at the Asians with Japan, right, and China. But I think that's what kind of makes it harder for us and get this viewership again because you don't have these big matches until the World Championships, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just me going off on a rant. Mallory Velty, I mean, only two matches, but takes care of business fairly easily 10-0 and 12-2 over Canada and Colombia. Nothing more you can really ask. Forrest Molinari, she has a big match ahead of her, whoever she faces at Final X. Reigning world and Olympic champion Tamara Mensah-Stock is done with wrestling. I don't think this is something a lot of people foresaw happening, so
Yeah.
I really don't know what happens there. I think she is next up to take the spot. I mean, obviously Kennedy Blades is up at 76, where we can talk about that after, but God,
Yeah.
she teching at line grade is wild.
Yeah.
Up to 72, Meet Lore, she's 36-0, three techs, a pin while up 6-0. Easy. I
Yeah.
mean, she's gonna possibly be the greatest women's wrestler in USA history at this point. Maybe if she wrestles long enough, maybe even world history. But I mean, she got like 16 more gold medals to go.
Yeah.
At 76, neither of her people, Adeline Gray, Candy Blaze, Kylie Wilker, Yelena McCoy, my bad. Didn't we have Tristan Kelly out there, lost first round 4-3. It is what it is, but 57 kilos, I don't think this is one anyone was expecting. I mean, I had the matches open live, but I wasn't really watching them this early.
Yep.
I go away for like a minute to go do something and then go back on Twitter, find out Helen Merle was lost.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything anyone was expecting.
No.
To Angela Alvarez of Cuba. Last second takedown, challenge call, makes it 8-5 for her. I mean, didn't get pulled into rep charge, so doesn't place.
It's unfortunate. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you can't really say much about it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, she's nearing the end of her career, but I don't.
sadly,
I think this is a lot else she can bounce back from pretty easily.
mhm.
But the women division has ups and downs. I think the men's division was overall positive.
Oh yeah,
Dillman, 2021 world champ, last year's world silver medalist. Nothing more you can ask. 11-0 tech in the quarters, 11-0 in the semis. 10-0 over Darian Cruz. He's been getting revenge ever since 2017
Yeah,
there. I mean, yeah, nothing too crazy for him. Vito, man, I mean, he's been on a tear
bizarre.
lately. Gives up 4 points, outscores his opponents 30, 32, 36 to 0,
Yeah,
46 to 0, my bad. But yeah, just dominant. I mean, as if he wins Final X this year and wins a world title, I would not be surprised.
not at all. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel like stylistically, this is international is what's best for him. I mean,
yeah,
coming
I
off
mean, yeah,
national title, I mean, now this is his stuff. Same with Yanni. I feel
yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, Vito's a guy who everyone I think knew he could win it. It was just a matter of like when he was going to figure it out,
right.
and whether or not he was going to figure it out. And I mean, hey, if he stays strong till Final X makes that team and does whatever at the World Championships, I think he's
Yeah,
going to be fun for us the world, right? But
for
you have
sure.
Ray Higuchi and you have Magomedov there, which are a lot tougher than guys he's going to face now.
Yeah,
65 kilos, Yanni wins gold.
had a scare in the semis. I mean,
Wasn't entirely convinced with that semifinal match.
yeah.
Finals match again, obviously Alejandro Valdez is a very good wrestler.
Hmm.
Um, Tobier Valdez, yeah, that's what it is. Very good wrestler. I think he had a very good match with Zayn a while back too.
Yeah,
When
he
Zayn
did.
was a rep at 65. I was impressed. I think he just had a. I don't think that was his best showing in the semis, is what I'll say.
I would agree.
Obviously, the other guy wrestled a great match in his home country. You can rest him.
Yeah.
Zayn,
Yeah.
dominant. Zayn is looking better and better. Hopefully, yeah, I think Zayn's the guy who people are looking past making a world title run this year, and I think he could very well make it happen. I know Taishin Arikuni of Japan is there,
Mm,
and that match went very bad last year, but
yeah.
I definitely think he can turn things around there.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Zayn drop drop some matches, but I feel like now he's really coming into his own. And I think this year for sure is one of his best shots to do it. I mean, he's looked really good lately. I mean, I mean, just dominant at the Pan Am.
Yeah, and I think yeah, there's nothing much you can say about that.
Mhm.
Faces Tyler Berger at Final X.
Yeah.
In theory, that shouldn't be close, but I saw Alec Pantaleo get pinned. Not going to say anything too quickly. Uh, yeah, obviously Kyle Dake, four-time world champ, takes care of business here. 10 over Franklin Gomez. I mean, it's impressive. Not really unexpected
Yeah.
based on the results last year. So, good showing for Dake. It's kind of more like a warm up for him.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have his hands full with Nolf, I think. A lot
Yeah.
of
I
people are
can't
kind
wait
of
for that
looking
match.
past that. Nolf had the only takedown in the series last year, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he gets it done, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean,
70,
those guys are in the same wrestling room as well. So you never know what's really going back. And you would doubt those guys are wrestling each other in the room that much, especially down during this time of the season. But that's going to be one of my most anticipated matches to watch. Final X, Jake and Nolf going at it.
yeah, 100%. I'll say the same. With all the matches on one night, it's gonna
Yeah,
be insane. I mean, Jordan Burroughs just takes care of business.
there's
Two very good
ninth Pan
opponents
Ams.
also
Yeah,
with Nestor Tafora of Colombia and Jesme Polka of Canada. Two very talented wrestlers. Obviously, just not the caliber of Burroughs.
no, I mean this is Bro's been here. He's done that. I think this is his ninth Pan Am gold. I mean when
It's his ninth.
yeah, ninth gold at Pan Am. So he's here to win. Um, and obviously he did it easily. So
Yeah, I mean, 86 kilos was the lone blemish in the lineup, but I mean, Mark Hall takes bronze. I mean, nothing crazy there. Semifinals just went very bad very quickly.
yeah, he got
Against yeah,
tossed
Ureski,
around.
Torreblanca, Peralta. I mean, if we throw Brooks there as a heater, Taylor, I think we win, but it's Pan Am's. I don't think it's too important. I mean, not to sound like that, but
Yeah,
it's kind of just the way people view it.
right,
If those guys didn't want to go, I think Hall is a very solid guy in the
for
world at
sure.
86 kilos. Machiavello takes care of business in his first tournament as the guy
Yeah,
for us.
mm,
So, obviously love to see it. Three techs, hopefully keep this momentum rolling into the into Final X, whoever he faces, maybe get it done.
For sure.
Snyder, I mean, give a couple points here and there, but nothing too crazy. That's just how he wrestles. He's just
Mhm.
goes hard the whole match, maybe gets scored on a bit, but he's gonna break you by the end, and that's what he did to these guys. Salah Torres of Cuba, I think he wrestled. I want to say he wrestled the same guy in the finals last year,
I
and
think
that's
you're
where that
right.
happened. But yeah,
Yeah.
not entirely sure. I think it went. I think that guy got a few good takedowns, super explosive, very
Yeah.
good wrestler, and yeah. But at 125, Don Bradley wins gold. But Ramirez Salas Perez, aka the guy who slapped the shit out of Sadulayev in 2014,
Yep.
announced his retirement. I mean, great career, Olympic bronze medalist, three-time world medalist, two-time finalist. Sucks that he had to run into who he ran into at the World
Yep.
Championships. Probably could have been the champion.
Mm.
That's the life. I mean, Don Bradley's the OG, right? Was he 35, 36 at this point?
Yeah.
Tex in his quarterfinal, pins in the semifinal, 2-1 in the finals. I mean, just taking care of business.
Yep.
I mean, he's coming down to probably his last season next year. I mean, this is a great way, three-time Pan Am champ. Great tournament for him, and great tournament for Team USA. Is there anything else to talk about?
I mean, I just think these guys are just trying to stay loose, getting ready for Final X. I mean, I think they all, for the most part, put up a pretty darn good performance. A lot of 10-0s, a lot of techs. That's what we were expecting for the most part. But you know, until you see these guys actually go out there and compete, I mean, I would say the biggest performances of tournament, obviously Machiavello looked really good, and then Vito as well, just running through these guys. I think those two um, are really good representatives are gonna, especially a Final X coming up. So I mean, um, I'm excited to see what those guys have in store soon.
Yeah, I'd say the same about those two. I mean, obviously, Burrows and Dake, but I mean, those are two guys kind of expect to do what they do. I think Vito's been peaking at the right time, and
Yeah,
I mean, his
right,
dad was
Zach,
a two-time world champ. He's looking to follow in his footsteps. I mean,
for sure.
Machiavelli's been on the guy like on the cusp of greatness for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can finally break through.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, this has been Pan Am's recap for 2023 championships. We'll see you guys again next time.